Hey, it's Casey. This is Real Talk. Let's talk about something most women notice and then talk themselves out of. His Instagram is showing you something. The question isn't whether to look, it's whether you know what you're seeing. Here's how to read it clearly. Without second-guessing yourself for noticing, you're just not sure whether to trust what you're seeing, or whether noticing it makes you the kind of person who snoops and overthinks. It doesn't. Social media is public. What someone chooses to put there, how they interact, who they engage with, it's information he's choosing to make available. And learning to read it clearly, without either dismissing your instincts or spiraling into them, is one of the more useful skills you can develop. Early in dating, here's what to look for. First, how he presents himself. An occasional photo where he looks good is completely normal. A profile where every single post is a shirtless mirror selfie or gym flex. Everyone, no exceptions, is telling you something about how much he needs external validation, and from whom. Men who are actively seeking attention from multiple women online tend to maintain profiles that invite it. That pattern is worth noticing, not because it's conclusive, but because it's consistent. Then there's the other version, the carefully curated persona, motivational quotes, looking for something real, family values, a version of himself online that has almost nothing to do with the man you actually spend time with. The one who is inconsistent, avoids commitment, and does the things the online version would never claim to do. The persona is a performance. Trust his actions, not his aesthetic. When the two versions of him are significantly different people, that gap is information. Then, whether you actually exist on his profile, some people are genuinely private online. They don't post anyone, ever, and that's consistent across their whole profile. That's a complete picture, and it's fine. But if he posts everything else, nights out, food, friends, and you are consistently absent after 3 or 4 months of dating, that's not privacy. That's a choice. You're not on his Instagram because he hasn't decided you're his girlfriend yet. You're an option he hasn't closed off. And an option doesn't get introduced to his life online, any more than she gets introduced to his friends in person. The absence is the message. Not paranoia, just logic. And then there are the posts that aren't about you at all, but tell you something anyway. Some people don't deserve your energy. Trust is earned, not given. Lesson learned. Moving on, these aren't about growth. They're about someone who is still emotionally inside something that ended, still processing it publicly, still defining himself in relation to someone who isn't there. If his recent posts read like a one-sided conversation with a woman who left, you're not walking into a fresh start. You're walking into a rebound. And then there's how he engages with other women. This is the part most women notice first and talk themselves out of most quickly. There's a meaningful difference between a man who follows attractive accounts and says nothing, and a man who consistently engages, liking every bikini photo, leaving comments, responding warmly to every woman who compliments him in a way that clearly invites more. The second one is active, not passive. He's telling those women he's available. He's keeping options warm. And one woman, no matter how right she is for him, will never fully satisfy that particular need because the need isn't for connection. It's for a constant supply of attention. The behavior doesn't stop when he's in a relationship. It just becomes slightly less visible. Watch for patterns, not isolated moments. Everyone likes a photo occasionally. What you're looking for is consistency, the same behavior, repeatedly across multiple women, in ways that signal availability rather than friendliness. So what do you do when something feels off? Trust your discomfort first. If something makes you uncomfortable, that feeling is information, not paranoia, not insecurity, not you being difficult. Then address it directly. Not as an accusation, not after 3 days of silently stewing, just a calm, Clear conversation about what you noticed and what you'd like to understand. What matters most is not what he says, but how he responds to the fact that you raised it. A man who takes your concerns seriously, who listens, who explains without dismissing, who understands why it might have landed the way it did, is a different person from a man who makes you feel irrational for bringing it up. Defensiveness, irritation, being told you're insecure, or that you're reading too much into things. That response is more important than whatever you originally saw on his profile, because a man who genuinely has nothing to hide doesn't make you feel crazy for asking. Social media reveals character, not perfectly, not completely, but consistently enough to be worth paying attention to. What he chooses to post, what he chooses to hide, who he engages with, and how. It all adds up to something, not a verdict, but a picture. And the instinct that tells you something in that picture doesn't quite fit. The one you've been talking yourself out of is usually working correctly. You don't have to be certain before you trust it. You just have to stop convincing yourself you didn't see what you saw. If you're trying to figure out the difference between genuine instinct and anxious overthinking, understanding what your brain does in early attachment is where that clarity starts. There's a guide for that. It's not you, it's your brain. No pressure. It's there whenever you're ready. Links in the description. This is KC from Love and Life. If this found you at the right time, a like helps it find someone else too. And if you want to catch the next one, subscribing means you won't miss it. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you next time.